do them individually. First of all, we've got Chaff, who's over on the far side with Amy, just up against the window at the moment. Chaff is now 12 years old, and he's been with us since 2006. And we've got his big old dad here, closest to the gate with Jenny. He's now 21, and he's been with us a similar amount of time. Chaff and Andy joined us because unfortunately they weren't wanted any longer at their previous home. They'd previously been trained for performance and shows. So since being here at the sanctuary, we've changed their routines quite a lot. So now no longer do they do all the crowd-pleasing moves that they used to, and instead they do lots of veterinary and husbandry training. And of course this is much more useful to both the team and the animals as well. So this is what you'll see Jenny and Amy doing with Chaff and Andy this afternoon. As you can see, Chaff at the moment lying very, very still, allowing Amy to check his whole body and picking up each individual flipper so she can check the underside for any cuts or abrasions. He'll also stand on his rear flippers, as you can see him doing at the moment, so Amy can ask him to open his mouth on command. This means that she can check his teeth and his gums, making sure that everything is in tip-top condition. Now, I'd also noticed that we've got a cage in the enclosure this afternoon as well. That's not because our fur seals are going to be moving anywhere anytime soon. It's simply because we like to practice going in and out the cage with them, just in case we do have to do any emergency repairs to the enclosure. These two boys are perfectly happy going in and out the cage during their training sessions, so it's a much less stressful experience for them. Now, Chaff and Andy being fur seals, it's a little bit confusing. They're actually more closely related to the sea lions than the other seals that we have here at the sanctuary. So they're part of the same family as the sea lions, and collectively called the eared seals, and that gives you a clue as to how they're different from the true seals. They've got the little wiggly external ear flaps at either side of their head, also the big front foreflippers, which means they can support the front of the body off the ground. Rotating their rear flippers forwards, they can almost gallop on all four flippers. It makes them very agile and graceful, whether they're out inside the pool or in the water. Now when they are in the water, they can pick up speeds of around about 20 miles an hour. And of course, out in the wild around South Africa, these boys have lots of predators to contend with. Things like great white sharks and killer whales that quite happily take one of these boys on if they're out there alone. So they have to be very quick and agile to make sure they can get off the rocks into the water, get the food that they need, and then get back out onto the safety of the rocks as quickly as possible. I noticed Chaff and Andy this afternoon getting a mixture of fish. At the moment we're giving them mackerel, but they do enjoy herring and sprats and also conger eels as well. And these pet boys probably have one of the most varied diets out of any of the animals here at the sanctuary, so they'll quite happily chomp on anything that we give them. So much so they'll have to be very careful as to anything that might be dropped into this enclosure, because Chaff will quite happily chomp it down. So over the years we've had to actually train Chaff to bring things back out of the pool and out to us, out on the side, just like your dog would retrieve a toy, just to make sure we can get items safely out of this pool without him eating it. Now the tap of the bucket on the floor lets the boys know that all their fish are gone, as you can see them accepting that and going back in the pool. We're now going to move on and feed our equally energetic sea lions. So if you'd like to follow us up to Sea Lion Cove, best place to watch is up on the deck side viewing, so if you're on the